You're watching Deepening Gaming. Enjoy the video. Hey guys, Nary here from Deepening Gaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming at you another Let's Play episode of Echo. So, the last episode we left off, we got caught by Brian. Again. And we're being drugged down into the basement, where Leo is. Oh god, what is this going to turn into? I do not know. It is probably going to be really bad. I don't know. I really don't know what to expect, but everyone keeps telling me this is going to be crazy. Crazy emotional roller coaster. Okay, let's do it, guys. Let's delve deeper into this abyss. Not smirking anymore, are you? Duke bares his teeth in Leo's direction. Been trying to wipe it off your face this whole time, and it turns out this was all I needed to do. Duke gestures at me. You're a little fuck otter, huh? Leo closes his eyes and shakes his head. Why are you here? He mumbles it. Oh, let me see. Why are you here? He mumbles it, almost to himself. Duke leans closer to the wolf. Why didn't you run if you got away? Leo opens his eyes and he looks straight at me. I don't know if he expects me to answer, but the look of defeat on his face makes me feel like I have to. We wanted to save you. We didn't know where you were or what was happening. Duke suddenly leans away from Leo towards me, his eyes narrowed. We? Who's we? I feel my stomach drop as I realize that what I've just done. I mean all of us. I saw some of my friends out there before I came here, but I'm alone. Duke studies me closely. Was there anyone else up there, Brian? Brian is sulking behind me, letting go of my shoulder occasionally to rub at his chin. Didn't see nobody except this otter. Duke looks up at the ceiling like he's listening for footsteps or something. Duke? Duke snaps his attention back to Leo, and I notice his face is practically dancing with twitches and tics. This is crazy. Leo enunciates each word through gritted teeth. His muzzle lowers so that he's looking up at Duke eye to eye. Look at this. Look at everything you've done. It makes no sense. Duke lets out a high-pitched laugh. Crazy! You know what's crazy? Duke gestures at me again. Ask him what he saw out there. Duke turns to face me, swinging his hand from me to Leo. Go on, tell him. He doesn't believe me. The corner of Duke's eye seems to have a mind of its own, like there's some kind of living creature under the surface writhing around. Was it a little crazy? I stare at Duke, entranced until Brian gives me a quick jerk. I saw a body. There were gunshots. Duke giggles. And that ain't the half of it. Houses afire, people eating each other. You think I'm crazy for shooting Janice, but if you knew. But how the hell are we supposed to know why that is? Leo leans forward as far as his bonds let him, eyes wide, almost pleading with Duke. This started when you got here. Duke lowers his voice dangerously, leaning back towards Leo, their noses almost touching. That doesn't mean shit. Leo speaks haltingly back at the weasel. We got a little kitty over here, sweet blue boy. Does this? Duke suddenly pulls a gun from the waistband of his pants and points it straight at my face. Uh-oh. I'm barely able to comprehend it before Brian jumps to the side with me out of the way of the gun. Fucking Christ, Duke, don't point it at me. Leo almost stands up on his toes with the chair still attached to his body, fur bristled out all over his body. Duke's lowered the gun, though, still watching Leo. Leo slumps back in the chair, trembling. Just stop, Duke! I don't know anything! Duke stares for a moment at the wolf, frowning. Then he looks down at his gun, as if contemplating something. Slowly, he looks at me, then points the gun at Leo's head. My heart jumps into my throat, and Brian has to hold on to me as I try to hold out my hands. Wait, what are you doing? Maybe it is just you, Otter. What? It's you I was seeing before you got here, and it was you I saw sneaking around at night. What the hell are you talking about? I feel myself start to panic as I see Duke's finger tighten up around the trigger. I don't know what's happening. Leo's doing his best to keep his head out of the line of fire, leaning his head as far to the side as he can. Duke doesn't seem to be paying attention to him, though, instead keeping his eyes on me. Just explain to me why you think it's me. Maybe I can help. That seems to get some sort of reaction out of Duke as he lowers the gun just a bit. The problem now, though, is that it's pointed at Leo's chest, and there's no way he can dodge that. Duke is studying me closely, as if trying to figure out what to say. You know this has happened before. My mind races. The mass hysteria thing, like 100 years ago? Yeah, that's right. See? How do you know that? He looks closely at me, but I'm relieved as he finally takes the gun away from Leo to be pointed at the ground. I did some research before coming here. I'm doing a news story on Echo for school. Duke is still eyeing me suspiciously. So you know about the murder? I try to think back to my research about what exactly happened. It was a while ago now, and I'd planned to fill in the gaps when I got back to Pueblo. Kind of. It happened to the mine. Yeah, it did, and then people went nuts. I wait, but Duke doesn't go on, filling the air with awkward silence. I can see Leo's head looking back and forth, probably trying to come up with a way to get out of this. I hope he's figuring something out, because I have no idea how we're going to do that. But do you know why? I'm trying to sift through Duke's psyche to figure out why he thinks this might be related to Leo and I. Duke's breathing has leveled off, and with his calmness, there's a feeling that we've managed to ride out the storm. My grandpappy lived through it all and stayed in the town after. Oh? I notice Leo's not looking around anymore. Instead, his eyes are trained on the door behind me and slightly to my right. I want to look back, but Duke seems distracted right now, so I try to keep him engaged. Yeah, it happened weeks after the body was found. Sort of built up till all hell broke loose. Leo nods his head slightly, eyes still on the door, and my heart leaps in my chest as I realize what might be happening. Do you know why that was? Duke shakes his head. Oh boy, being silly under there. There's something bad in this town. The earth's bad, the air's bad, everything's tainted. So, you think something's in the air, or water, or something? I lean a bit to the left to try to keep Duke's eyes on me, away from Leo or the door. I don't know about that, but my grandpappy thought that because they didn't catch the murderer, it planted some seeds in the bad dirt. Duke looks at the ceiling. And grew something terrible. Wasn't till they killed the guy that did it that it stopped. That's news to me. I didn't read anywhere that the murderer had been caught. Duke looks back down at me. So I don't know what it is, if it's murder or guilt or not catching someone that did wrong. I hear the softest sound of a footpad against the floor behind me and pray that none of the others did. But it started when you got here, so you gotta forgive me for wondering if one of you did something bad. Duke starts to raise the gun again. And brought that guilt back to this poison land to grow the seeds again. Duke doesn't sound like himself at all, not even his recently crazed self. Still, though I don't want to admit it, I start to have an idea of what Duke might be getting at. How this all fits into our history. What was that kid's name a while back that died in the lake? He wasn't murdered. You sure about that? Yes! But I'm not. Am I? I swallow hard, aware that some of the pieces don't fit, despite how disturbing the implications are. But that was years ago. Why didn't it start then? Why now? Duke shrugs. Maybe you wasn't guilty till now. Maybe kids don't understand what they've done. Maybe it's 'cause you left and it made it angry. But he wasn't murdered. You see it happen? No, but the person that did wouldn't ever do that. So am I talking to the wrong guy right now? Who was it? I look over at Leo again, swallowing hard. Who was it? Duke starts to raise the gun again. What happens over the course of the next minute is too fast for me to comprehend until it's over. Leo explodes out from his sitting position, face twisted with rage as he bares his teeth in a full wolf snarl. Though his feet are handcuffed to the legs of the chair, he's able to lunge off the ground with his feet. Nope! He launches himself at Duke, slamming into the weasel with a painful crunch of flesh on flesh and metal on concrete. I gasp and watch as Leo starts ripping into Duke with his teeth. Duke screams and flails his arms around, apparently forgetting his weapon as it flies from his fingers. The gun slides across the ground to tap gently against the wall, just 5 feet from me. Brian keeps a tight grip on me, though, but that's when I hear a clicking sound behind me. Brian does too, and he turns sideways, allowing me to see the source as well. And there stands Kudzu, both hands on Leo's handgun as he points it up at Brian's head. It clicks uselessly, though, and Kudzu's face is a mixed mask of terror, desperation, and confusion. The safety! Leo is still struggling on the ground with the screaming Duke, lifting his mouth from the weasel's arm to shout at Kudzu. Kudzu's eyes snap to the gun in his hand, but Brian's already moving. He kicks at Kudzu's hands, and it connects violently, sending the gun flying into the air to clap against the ceiling. Brian lets go of me at that point, reaching out to catch the gun. Well, fuck. Shit. If I go for Duke's gun, what I'm thinking is going to happen is that we're going to wrestle with it, the trigger's going to pull, and it's going to hit Leo. Fuck. I hope I can go back. I help Kudzu. I try to ram my elbow back into the bear's crotch, but he's not quite that tall. Instead, I get him just above his balls and get no more than a grunt out of him. He still misses the gun, though, and it falls back to the ground with a loud clatter. Kudzu bends over to pick it up, but Brian's already kicking at him again, and this time it connects with the raccoon's face. Ah! Kudzu slumps to the ground, though I'm not sure if he's unconscious or dead from how hard Brian kicked him. I jump after the gun just as Brian does. We reach it at the same time, and though I'm able to grab it first, Brian yanks it from my hand easily. I lay there in front of Kudzu, realizing I've just missed our only chance. What the fuck? Nope. That's not, Nope. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back, guys, and see if I can undo this. I'll be right back. Alright, guys, we're back. I had to, it just doesn't have a back feature, so I had to load an slightly older save, so, oh lord. Let's go for Duke's gun. Let's see what happens. Because no one's fighting over Duke's gun, I realize that might be my best chance. I lunge in the opposite direction. Clumsily, I scoop up the weasel's gun, turning it over in my hands until I'm holding it the right way. Brian, my gun! Leo's still tearing away at the weasels as Duke holds them up in defense. At the weasel's arms as he holds them up in defense. I turn around, crouched back against the wall as I see Brian standing over a downed Kudzu. I can openly pray that he hasn't killed him. I point the gun at Brian just as he turns around to face me. Seeing that he's about to get shot, the bear lunges at me, his massive paws upstretching towards me. Luckily for me, the gun is loaded. Trying to keep myself steady, I manage to find the safety and flick it off. I shoot him right in the face. The sound is so loud in the tiny room that my hearing goes out for a moment. Brian crumples to the floor and the room goes quiet. But only for a moment. An earthly howling sound comes from the bear as he slowly props himself up on his hands, looking back up at me. For a moment, I wonder if the evil powers of Echo have brought him back to life somehow. But no, there's a bloody hole just above his blunt nose, and I can see the white of bone peeking through the red. Somehow, the bullet hadn't even pierced his skull. Well, he is a bear. Shakily, I raise the gun again, but Brian rolls away to the door with speed that shouldn't be possible for a bear his size. He's gone. I stare for a moment, wondering if I should run after him, but a snarl next to me is me pointing the gun at Duke instead. Leo's still tearing into his arms as Duke hollers at the top of his lungs, trying to cover his face. Leo, stop! I've got the gun on him! Leo looks up at me with his wild eyes, pausing for a moment before slowly letting go of the mustard's arms, bloody drool hanging from his chin. I try to ignore that and keep the gun trained on Duke's head as Leo flops to the side in his chair. After seeing how little the bullet had affected Brian, I'm not so confident it will do much damage to Duke. Well, Duke's not a bear. Maybe bears just have thicker skulls, but I'm more worried that the gun is just shit. Duke doesn't move, though, as he lays back against the concrete, eyes closed, gasping for breath. Okay. Damn. Alright, choice has been made. Oof. Alright, guys, that was the alarm chan breaking up this this tension. Jesus. Ooh. That was wild. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Well, no one died in this episode, hopefully. Kudzu better be okay. Don't you take Kudzu away! Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell to the next video. I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!